Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And we love dogs.
Love dogs.
Now a year ago, we did a preview of a very exciting game. And that was
Dog Park.
And now it's come to fruition. It feels so good, it feels right. And it's just a wonderful game.
You know what would make it better? If they were introducing an expansion.
An expansion?
Maybe this one? Dog Park New Tricks.
New Tricks?
Yeah!
Well, let's get this one out of the way so we can focus our entirety of efforts on the expansion. So Dog Park New Tricks is designed by Lottie and Jack Hazel. And it's a brand new expansion coming to Kickstarter from the Dog Park world.
Exactly. It might even be live when you're watching this video, which you can go ahead and check the link down below.
Yeah, click that link. Thank you so much to Birdwood Games for sending us this game to check out and for sponsoring this video. We're really excited to dive in and tell you more about this expansion. But before that, let's give you an overview of Dog Park and some of what the expansion has to offer. Before we dive into the expansion, let's give you an overview of the original game. In Dog Park, you'll recruit 8 dogs into your kennel over 4 rounds. You'll work to walk and meet each of the dog's needs and score the most reputation by the end of the game. Before each round starts, let's look at the forecast. How will it impact the current round? This game is played in rounds. Each round will have 4 phases. In the recruitment phase, you'll complete in 2 rounds of offers to attract your most desired canines to your kennel. You'll do this by bidding reputation and churn order, secretly of course. If multiple bids are placed on a dog in the field, the player with the highest bid, or the player who bid first if tied, will claim the dog, and the other players will claim a remaining available dog for 1 reputation. Again, you'll do this twice, at which point you'll have dogs in your kennel you can choose to walk. This brings us to the selection phase. Here you'll decide which dogs you wish to put on lead for a walk by paying their walking costs and resources. You can walk up to 3 dogs as long as you have enough resources. Now, it's the walking phase. In churn order, players will walk their dogs by advancing their walker meeple 1 to 4 spaces. While advancing, players will gain various benefits available to them from the board, which of course is influenced by the location bonus cards revealed each round. Slower walkers will have more opportunity to collect their desired resources, but also run the chance of being the last one out of the park, which causes them to lose reputation for their lateness, so pace appropriately. Once everyone is out, it is home time. Dogs on lead will gain each player reputation, while those who have not been walked yet will lose reputation. Dogs are then returned to the kennel and each player takes back their walker. You'll play for 4 rounds, collecting 8 dogs and hopefully walking most of them. You'll then complete final scoring by adding up your reputation, by evaluating any final scoring abilities from your dogs, breed expert awards by claiming majority of 1 breed, reputation from your objective card, and reputation for every 5 remaining resources. The most reputable player wins. Now let's chat new tricks. Let's start with a component overview. You'll see a new trick board, 20 trick cards, 5 trainers, 1 per player, and 24 train tokens. 16 super location cards, 4 double-sided super location tiles, 5 objective cards, and 3 forecast cards. 60 multi-breed dog cards featuring new abilities. Additional tokens including 7 of each of the ball, stick, treats, and toy tokens, and 12 walk tokens. And finally, components for a 5th player, including location tiles, a field tile, leaving bonus tile, offer dial, walker, reputation marker, and a lead board. Now, how has the game changed? Tricks are introduced. 4 lead and 3 kennel trick cards will be randomly drawn and distributed on the trick board before the game starts. Each selection phase, players must place their trainer and a train token on 1 dog on their lead or in their kennel. A dog with a train token can now activate tricks corresponding to their breed by paying the associated cost on the card as long as they're in the right location, kennel or lead. Multi-breed dogs are introduced. Dogs with 2 breed categories have been introduced to the game, and guess what? Both breeds count. This applies to competition for breed expert, forecast cards, final scoring abilities, and objectives. With new dogs, there's also new abilities. The range of combinations and strategies is increased with the addition of new dogs. At the start of the game, you prepare a deck that contains a mix of core cards and multi-breed dogs from the new Tricks expansion, leaving each game with a different combinations of canines wandering in the fields. Super Location Bonus Cards! Super Location Bonus Cards replace location bonus cards and add new modular spaces that cover the existing space. They provide players an opportunity to perform a special action, and multiple players can visit them without incurring a reputation penalty, as you would if you visited the space with a player already there. They're removed at the end of each round and replaced as new Super Location bonus cards come up. Effects include losing reputations to gain 3 resources, discarding a train token to gain reputation or resources, and more. Finally, there's now an opportunity to play with 5 players. The 5th player expansion can be played with or without the new content from New Tricks. In order to include a 5th player, you'll place the 5th player field tile by the dog deck. Then you'll place the 5th player location tiles in the first 2 spaces on the park board. Each tile represents 2 separate spaces. If you place a walker on a tile, on your next turn you cannot remain on that same tile. Other than that, normal occupancy and movement rules apply. You'll place the 5th player leaving bonus tile over the printed leaving bonus space and use the plentiful park location bonus cards. And that's it. The rest of the game you'll play as normal. You'll notice that because there's 4 rounds, one player will not be able to go first during the game. While that is true, there are plenty of advantages of being in the middle of the pack. And that's Dog Park New Tricks.
Can you imagine trying to walk 5 dogs at once?
You can only walk 3 in Dog Park though.
No, this is 5 players.
You don't walk the players.
Okay, 5 players walking 3 dogs each. That's 15 dogs.
That sounds like a dog park.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in this preview video, we're going to talk about the main things that the expansion adds and how it affects the game and what the integration really looks like.
Exactly. I think the first thing that we'll probably start talking about is the fact that it introduces new tricks. This means there's an additional board that goes on top of the main board, and it gives tricks to specific breeds of dogs. Now these tricks can be used in the kennel or while they're on their leash out wandering in the park, and it kind of offers this variety of different abilities that you're able to utilize and strategize around based on the dogs that are coming up, the dogs that you have already, and which ones you choose to bring out for a walk.
And you get to train one, at least one, every single time.
Yes.
So that's very exciting because then you're just wondering, what am I going to do? What are the potential combinations? Because once the dogs know the tricks, they can do the tricks.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll leave them in the kennel because their tricks are mainly done in the kennel and they'll support your strategy. So all the strategy really begins to build as you begin to plan, and there's a lot of possibilities within your 8 cards that you have.
Yeah, some give you resources, some can give you points. There's a lot that goes on with these tricks, and what's really exciting about it is kind of a segue into the next point that we want to bring up, is that now there are dogs with multi-breeds. So with the tricks, you can now use one or the other, and these new dogs actually count towards both of the progress things that you're aiming for.
Does that mean multi-breed dogs learn more tricks?
Yeah.
It does.
That's exactly what it means.
But that is exciting, the variability and then the options to do more. So you want to get those multi-breed dogs. Well, and not only do you contribute to different tricks with those multi-breed dogs, you're also contributing to various other effects as well. So if you have final scoring effects on dogs that correspond to breeds, all of them, both of the breeds count towards that. And same with the breed expert and a lot of other categories. So those multi-breed dogs are really the favorite of the game in the moment, which is very exciting. And of course with that as well, there's more abilities that the dogs have.
Yes, of course. We're talking different actions that get activated during your walk, during game end scoring, things that maybe provide you a discount. There's a lot going on with the new breeds that are introduced, and it's exciting to see like that be able to utilize during your gameplay.
Yeah, and there's trick integration as well. So a lot of these cards will act in relation to the trick boards and potentially get you some bonuses if you do a certain trick, which is very exciting because the more abilities, the more potential for those combinations and strategies. And because you're only seeing and really getting those 8 dogs, it really leaves you to think of how much reputation am I really going to give up to build the best possible dog walk in the park.
Gained the most reputation for being the best walker, kennel owner. It's
dog expert.
Yeah.
You love canines.
It is pretty exciting, which actually, now that I think about it, brings me to the next point that we want to talk about. Speaking of multi-breeds and being able to walk them and teach them new tricks, there's also these new tiles that can be placed onto the main board that will act as the super location tiles.
Yeah, so there's super location cards that replace the location bonus cards. And when they're drawn, there's new little tiles that go on your board that create 5, I think, actions that you can take when on them. And on top of that, you don't get penalized if multiple players go on the same one. So you don't have to pay the reputation. You can all go on the super location tile.
Which makes it even more super.
That's fun. It adds another action element to the game, increases a little bit of more strategy. There's much more strategy that is being built.
Yeah, you get these moments where you have to, participate in the super locations and decide whether or not they're worth it for you. Because the one that comes to my mind is you can sacrifice a trick token. So your dog, I guess, just doesn't end up learning the trick.
Oh, no, they forget the trick.
Yeah, they forget the trick. And you instead will get resources, or you can get more reputation points. So it's kind of this balance of, is that trick good enough to keep right now, or am I okay with giving it up so I can maybe walk more expensive dogs next round? So it is very interesting, and I appreciate the additional strategy decision that has to be made.
And last but certainly not least, there's a 5th player.
What?
We love when games go to 5-player, and it's such a seamless integration because you don't have to add any of the other expansion content.
No.
You can't just add the 5th player. You can play your game. It's very easy to set up. You simply add a couple of tiles to the main board, and the rest of the game plays really seamlessly. So if you have been craving to play Dog Park with a 5th player, let's welcome our new 5th player token. Big round of applause.
Woo!
So in summary, if you enjoy Dog Park, if it touched your soul and you just really enjoyed the gameplay, this is a great expansion to get because it's such a seamless integration. The biggest change is really the trick board because it requires a few new mechanics, but everything else is really seamless and it doesn't feel like you're adding that much more to the game. But at the same time, there's so much potential for strategy, and seeing those multi-breed dogs and seeing just a lot of it really shine through the different mechanics, it's just so fun to play.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that you don't, if you enjoyed Dog Park and you're looking for even just like a little elevation to the game, New Tricks does a great job at that. Not necessarily you need it, but it's a great way to change up the game, change up the pace of it, think about new strategies that you can make with it, and add that 5th player.
Well, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions around Dog Park New Tricks,
let us know down in the comments below, and we'll do our best to give you the answer.
And don't take our word for it. Go down to the Kickstarter, learn more about the game. There is so much more that you can learn from a bunch of other videos, pictures, infographics, rulebooks maybe.
Yeah.
There's resources.
And for our question of the day, what do we have?
What do you like to do in the park?
Ooh.
Do you run around? Do you just lay on grass and let it tickle your back?
Reframe. If you were a dog and you got to go to the park, what would be your favorite thing to do at the park?
Run.
I want to play Frisbee.
I'd run through the bushes because it'd be so fun to like just zoomy.
So fast. Yeah, I'd want to play Frisbee.
Frisbee is very fun. Well, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the content and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye!